Hello, everybody. Welcome to another daily dose of your gaming news. And let's get started here. I watched the CES, sorry, Nvidia, whatever they wanted to call it. I call it a bullshit stream because so many lies, so many gaslighting. Okay, we have officially the 47 Ti unveiled, supposedly $100 cheaper when the price of the on launch for the 12 gigabytes. And I saw a lot of marketing bullshit here. Basically, they say that is like almost 3 times faster than the 4090 Ti. Which is by itself impressive because the 4090 was around 2 times faster than the 3090 Ti. So they are contradicting themselves, which is great. But as you can see, they are continuing, and in this case, regarding the 4090, here they put it the 4080 12 gigabytes, but in the stream they told it was regarding the 4090 Ti, so there is a lot of confusion here. They didn't, I don't dot the I's and cross the T's, I don't know. But here they mention, and they the main focus for the 40 Ti, it's the 4040p resolution, but they didn't mention, they only put it on the graphics card and then they pressed the release, because in the stream, if you watch it, it seemed that they was talking about 4K, because the 40 series, all their marketing is regarding around 4K. But here all the graphics, all the graphs, sorry, are regarding 4040p. And when they are comparing with older generations in the 40 series, being the 4080 or the 4090 Ti or the 4090 or whatever, they are trying to get it through performance, relative performance to the 4080. They always put on the 40 series, yes, in this case the 4070 Ti, with the DLSS 3 on, which is the fake frames technology that they put, and they call it the performance, which is, in my point of view, fake frames are not relative performance to anything. For me, performance is rasterization, which means that is the game engine processing those frames, and with those frames usually comes with input lag from the player itself. If you play it DLSS free technology game with it, you have input lag increased if you are playing with just rasterized performance, which is misleading. It's false advertisement and marketing stuff from their part. It starts to get sickening because they are trying to get the normal player that don't pay too much attention on these technologies they are introducing, that they think, and okay, visually can seems buttery smooth, because to all intents and purposes, as you can see here, the frames are increased, and supposedly they don't, the relative performance is 1x, which doesn't mean anything. We don't know the baseline of this thing, how many frames they are getting. If you are getting, for example, 100 frames, supposedly you are getting 300 frames, which is not true, but it's relative performance in 1, 2, 3x. It's what it means to certain points, which is misleading. Even the 4090 as regarding the 3090 Ti as a relative performance of a maximum 60% best case scenario. So this is very misleading. I don't like it. The price is way too up. The 37, even the 4070 came out at around $650 MSRP. Here they are increasing to $800 US dollars MSRP, which in some announcements from the AIBs, because this will not have a reference card from Nvidia, it will start at 800. It is the most basic ones, but usually they put low, they have low inventory for those cards, so they can mark up the other versions, and I saw versions going almost to $1,000, which is anti-consumer. It doesn't bring anything new to the game. Then we have also the issues with the 7900 XTX overheating, reference cards overheating with what it seems like vapor chambering issues. This is not a good time to not to build but to buy a new graphics card. I don't know how this is going to ramp up the prices of the other cards, because if you're seeing around $850, $900 a 4070 Ti, which will not bring anything like huge jumps in performance, then they also started doing the power consumption stuff. Doesn't matter for me, but if you see here, you have a 3090 Ti in this graphics card. They put three times also. So what is it? Here in the 3080 you have 3 times, a little bit more, and here we have 3 times also. They are all over the place. They put graphics like this, which doesn't mean anything. What is this? They don't put even like any notes here. Not even here. We don't know anything. It's a mess. They are trying to deceive people and gamers that don't pay too much attention to this, the specificities of their technologies and how they go about it. There are a lot of people that seem to forget that this was marketed at first as a 4080 12 gigabytes, which is not. Even the chip where it's built, it's not the same. It's not the same class that a 4080. I'm a little pissed off about all of this stuff. I don't know what to say more. They then just go about it because of the power thing. As you can see, there is the chip is not the same here. This is the 4080 unlaunched 12 gigabytes. They put it $100 cheaper, which for all intents and purposes should be around $250 to $250 cheaper than it is. Should be around $600, $700 maximum, like top. Regarding the performance wise, regarding all of this class series, the 4080 is overpriced. The 4090 is completely it's completely bonkers. Even though they are performance wise they are better, but the price, it's too much. As you can see here, I will never pay more than $1,000 for the top GPU, which in this case should be the 4090. The 4090 I will never pay more than $1,000. And I always advise, wait for the reviews. There are some shenanigans happening here. These graphics they presented in the live stream, they are not correct regarding the true performance, because what they are calling performance is just putting fake frames to increase frames on the games, which are not processed by the game engine. It's fake frames introduced by the AI on the DLSS-free technology, and you are getting input lag on the game itself, because the GPU has to delay the delivery of the frames processed by the game engine to input their fake frames to then to send it to the monitor, so you can see what it is presented as a smooth experience. I'm very hardcore on rasterization, mainly because it is what the GPU is processing from the game engine, and you have and with that comes input lag, and even here the power consumption here, I don't know, because you don't know. For all intents and purposes, DLSS 3 supposedly lowers a little bit the power consumption, because they are not basically processing what the game engine is doing, so it's not working that much. So you can invent frames for you to have lower power and supposedly more frames on your monitor. It was a debacle for me. They were trying to oversell this thing, and presenting with new games coming and whatever. That in a vacuum, DLSS 3 can be a good option for certain games and for certain scenarios of certain hardware that might be more limited, and then you can have like a little boost on smoothness regarding visualizing your game. But how they are trying to sell this, it's for me it's bullshit. It's not worth it. I will wait to see how they are going to compare with the previous generation and with the 80 class. I think it's going to be a mess because this will underperform by a lot. I think we should get around, because there was, when they presented the 4080 12 gigabytes, which is this GPU, because it is the same chip, has the same specifications, it's exactly the same thing. The graphics cards, when they presented the 4080 12 gigabytes, it had a huge boost on with DLSS 3, as you saw, as we can see here. Sorry to bring it up again here, but in rasterization it was on par, if I'm not mistaken, with a 3080 in terms of rasterization, so normal gameplay. And I think this is going to underperform. It's going to be underwhelming. It's going to be expensive, too much expensive. I don't know how this will affect in terms of pricing the 30 series. I just hope this price brings the 30 series way below this $800 mark, so people can at least have at least something to play with the 30 series and a cheaper, because even the 30 series, starting with the 3060, they have never been lower than MSRP for the past 2 years since launch. Basically, we have the same product, 2 years old, with overpriced throughout these 2 years of all these situations, the mining boom, the COVID lockdowns and everything associated with it, with logistics and everything. It has maintained, and plus the fact that Nvidia is manipulating the market in its favor, trying to strangle the supply, and because people are demanding a lot of the new GPUs, they are just ramping up the prices just to get more profit, which is what corporations do. But this is not good for consumer-wise. And then we have the fact that the competition is not that good at the moment. We have the 7900 XTX, at least the reference card, it's failing all over the place with a lot of issues. I think the AIB cards from AMD are good, but they are overpriced also. $1,000 for a GPU, which is the baseline. It's not good. It's not good. With $1,000 you can play games, or in the worst case scenario you can buy a console and play games with that value. But yeah, I will continue to check up on this thing with the 4070 Ti until some reviews come out. There is a lot of stuff people are talking about, and the overall frame, it's basically what I've been talking about, which is I didn't sleep well because I saw this late night in my time zone, so it's gets me on my nerves, this kind of things. But yeah, I will throughout these days I will let you know more details on the 47, how it really performs regarding all the older 30 series GPUs, and also the new 40 series, how it compares to itself. But yeah, at least good news from CES that I'm seeing regarding monitors. Throughout 2022, like the second half of 2022, some OLED monitors and mini LED monitors start to come out, especially I think the Alienware one, which was also a super wide one. It was like the first OLED proper gaming monitor. And in DCS, there are a lot of brands. I'm bringing up here Samsung because it's one of the main manufacturers of monitors here. They are kicking off with a lot of new monitors, OLED ones, which is very good because they are very fast. They have contrast ratios are over the roof. They have usually true blacks, and there is no width. If you want to buy a super monitor that goes to HDR, also usually OLED monitors don't have like the smearing of the images because each single LED is illuminated. You don't have like a backlight with zones and everything that does this smearing effect when you want to do watch things and play things in HDR. And there has been a lot of new monitors here from Samsung, and I think LG also, if not mistaken. I will try to check because I just did a quick search. I noticed there were some new announcements from monitors OLED, but the OLED, which is supposed to be now the top tier monitors, don't get full with 8K mini LEDs. They call it 8K because of being a wide monitor, because it is basically wide 4040p and maximum 4K, but it's a super wide one, so it's not really 8K, but okay. And they are coming in big sizes, 49 and 50 something inches, 57 inches, as you can see here. But yeah, this is going to be good for me. They are going to be overpriced, of course, but I think we will start putting like 4K monitors, IPS monitors, like normal monitors. The prices should come a little bit lower now, and make at least like 4040p. That usually good 4040p IPS panel usually goes about, I think, between $400-500 without HDR, without proper HDR. They go about it that price. I think they were going to be a little bit lower now. The 4K monitors go around like between $100-150 above this price, so around $600 to $650. They should come a little bit down because of this new introduction of this. They are becoming mainstream, so a lot of people will try to buy more of this OLED stuff, and the IPS, which it's not a bad technology for all intents and purpose, but I think it's going to bring down a little bit the prices of normal monitors, which is a good thing. I will try to cover more stuff on CS, but I got stuck on this Nvidia thing, and I didn't pay attention to more announcements. There has been some cases, some laptops also, but the laptops is also, it's cut down versions of the GPUs. A lot of laptops are bringing also OLED. I don't know how it's going to work with laptops, because usually OLED can have like a burn-in issue throughout time, so I don't know how the technology is going to be there. I will try to study the thing and see what kind of preventative measures they have regarding burn-in issues. But yeah, for CS for today, this is it. However, I have news from games, which is what I like to talk about a lot. Atomic Heart, they confirmed it will be single player only, at least for now, and also the DLC they are bringing, which will be like 4 DLC packs, which will include new territories, quests, puzzles, enemies, and other things. It's all single player, because there were a time in development that they were thinking bringing like at least some multiplayer component, but at the moment it's scratch. There is no plans for this. Probably in the future, but I like for them to focus on bringing the single player experience, including DLCs, and then if I can accept like a multiplayer experience similar to Dark Souls. So it's not you don't go to for that. If you want multiplayer, you have a lot of games for that. I don't think there's a need to put everything multiplayer, because multiplayer, when games are built around multiplayer, they tend to be how do I say it? They tend to be built in a different way than the single player, because usually when you focus on single player, you focus on the story that you want to tell, and the gameplay, it's going to be around to a certain point regarding that story. So like for example, in this case Atomic Heart, all the weapons, all the enemies, they have a story purpose to be there. It's not, for example, if you play like a Call of Duty, you just have players, they are on war and they're just going to destroy themselves to death. So there is no basically story. The story, it's the setting that it's everybody's going to kill each other. Here, at least you have a story, some themes that you want to approach. They are not just to try to milk you money with stuff on the store, hopefully, in this game. And I will wrap up this with kind of my series per se of upcoming games that I want to play. And at first, when I saw Nightingale stuff, I thought it was like similar to a multiplayer game, like base building and similar to Fortnite or something like that. The first thing that I saw, but now throughout these months after I saw it for the first time, it seems to be that it is not going to be multiplayer based. I think we will have like some multiplayer aspects to it. I think like Dark Souls again, for example, for bosses here, as you can see on the image or something like that. But it's going to be a lot of open world survival craft to a certain point in survival game. Yeah, online co-op. It's not online persistence like Fortnite. I like the vibes here, as some how Lovecraftian vibes on the monsters and the ambience. You see very weird creatures, strange portals, which supposedly going to bring you to other worlds, and as a Victorian age style also, which pushes a little bit also the Lovecraftian feel of it. Yeah, but it's a game that I'm paying attention, and as things go through because there is no fixed release date, I will try to give you updates regarding this game also. And for today, this is it. I will try throughout the day to see if I have in my free spare time to see any more detailed news and more games that I like to bring the spotlight on. And I will wrap up here with my usual stuff of going at funding for me to upgrade my PC to bring more and better content to my private clients. I want to start doing some video stuff there, and also ramping up my game on image editing because the hardware is limited to the one that I have for now. And of course, in my free spare time, continue to do the daily videos that I've been doing regarding news and hardware and all that good stuff, and also resuming my gameplay series, which would be awesome to resuming. And basically that's it, guys. I hope you have a wonderful day despite all of this Nvidia crap. And I will see you in the next one. So until then, Kunamy Master out.